Brooklyn Nets have fired their head coach, Jacque Vaughn, less than 2 full seasons in, man. Less than 2 full seasons. He was nothing spectacular for them. I will go on record saying that. I think he had like a 64 and 65 record, so it was about subpar 500, give or
Hmm.
less. But I think he's the one that took over after Steve Nash, right?
Right.
Which Nash shouldn't have never had that job. No coaching experience ever. And I, I,
No
ca-
way.
I can't count how many times we come on here and say that coach shouldn't have got that job after the
Never.
coach has been fired. Well, we got to bring that up though. Every time a coach gets fired, they didn't deserve that job. But different coach here. But I'm just saying for the record. But Nets Nets fired Jacque Vaughn, man. And you know when he first started, because he was like an interim coach, I think in 2020 or 2021. I think the last few games before they when they fired Nash or something, but he coached 10 games. 3 years ago, he coached 10 games and he went 7-3 for the Nets. So I don't remember if he
Hmm.
was interim, like obviously he was interim for a minute, but I don't remember if it was middle of the season covering or if they fired Nash towards the end. I don't remember. So, but he was 7-3 that year in the 10 games, and then the last couple years have been like subpar. Anything but outstanding to say the least. But
Nothing. They don't have a great team though. They don't have a great team, and they got Ben Simmons over there freaking putting up 5 points. So that's when he got that team, bro. It wasn't nothing, man. You know, you got Big Cam over there. Cam been doing work, but the rest of those guys, man, they got rid of freaking Dinwiddie and all these guys, bro. For real, the guys that really put on for them boys.
uh,
Jerry Allen, they got rid of Allen over
that was
there.
so stupid because he's
That
one of
was
the best
dumb,
best
right?
big man like rebounders in the league, bro. He's a tough. Now you done lost Durant, you done lost Harden,
Harden, you
you
lost
have
Kyrie, like
you
you
have
done lost
lost
everybody. You lost
everybody,
everybody.
man.
For real. Yeah, you done went through these phases. And like I say, they were a good team, but they never could play defense. They're gonna have to outscore you. Even now, they have to outscore you. They have no defensive qualities at all. When you see the game, man, it might be like 110, 105 or something like that or whatever, but they just can't stop those guys in the end. You know, it's all about the freaking last 4 minutes of the game anyway, when you actually have to play real ball. For real,
Yeah.
you in sets or whatever, you playing half court offense, half court defense. And you got to stop those guys from scoring, bro. And they just can't do that. And they're in the East, so they'll go in like a 7 seed, 8 seed, you know, play in tournament or something like that. But they still not nothing to watch, you know. And they haven't been. They haven't been since all those guys left.
To me, if I'm looking at their roster right now, man, and I only see a couple of solid players, bro. Like obviously you got Mikal Bridges. He's solid. He's a
He's
solid
doing
player.
good. Mm-hmm.
He's leading them. You know what I mean? He's the leader of that team. And Nick Claxton at center. Okay, he's not, he's not the
He not
best big
all
man in the game,
that.
but he's a 12-2. He's an average double type of guy. You can do with that as a center. You know what I mean? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Claxton's all right. And then obviously Cam Thomas. Cam
Cam
Thomas
Thomas,
is a
right?
young rising
Mm-hmm.
star in this league, and I think he will be for a long time. And then
Right.
you remember they got a trade from Phoenix too. They got Cameron Johnson, and he's all right coming off the bench. Not bad at all. But
That's Fro man.
that yeah. But
Fro man. Yeah, yeah,
outside of
yeah.
those guys, like everybody else is expendable.
Right.
Everybody else is disposable. Like you have nobody else.
All
And
those guys, really. All those guys. Anybody
well,
can go.
I would keep them cats I just named. I wouldn't even take them for a superstar because you're not in no
You
chance to
still wouldn't
seriously
be
compete right
filling the
now.
roster.
So you might as well just keep building up these young cats with potential. And don't get me wrong, dude, they get keep drafting well and they get a couple of maybe low key names in
Nice
free agency.
veterans.
Yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
a couple veterans on top of all that. Like they could be something. They could compete probably a couple years. But they're gonna need time to develop chemistry, all that shit, get that camaraderie together, and depend on who they end up hiring as a head coach. They named interim coach was Kevin Ollie,
Kevin Ollie. Mm-hmm.
and he's coaching probably the rest of the year. I don't know if he'll keep that job. Probably depends on how he does, but if he can get him into the playoffs and make a playoff run, they might keep him.
Yeah.
But that
But the
man ain't
East,
been a
but
head
the
coaching
East,
for years, though, bro.
yeah, I know it. I know it.
Years, like what, '06 or
Last
some shit?
man, last I seen him was in UConn when he won with UConn. What that was maybe like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was longer than that ago. Was it only like 5 years
Yeah, it
ago?
was like it was like maybe like 17, 18, like 18, I believe.
I thought it was way longer than that ago.
It might have been. It might have been, but I thought it was he was still there in UConn till not too long ago, maybe like 5, 6 years ago.
You're right. It was well shit. 2013 and 2014 was his first year at UConn. So
Right.
that was like fucking 10 years ago. Now that's crazy to think about that. My God.
Mm-hmm.
My
Right.
God. So from 2013 to 2018, but in his last 2 years, those wins got vacated due to something. I don't remember what it was
Oh.
right now, but yeah. So yeah, last coach in 2018. I guess it wasn't that long ago. I thought it was longer than that ago, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
see if he can do it. Coaching in the NBA is a different step, but Kevin I knows basketball and
He
he might
does.
be able to, get them boys to play and you go on a run. You never know. And like you said, they're in the East, so
Right.
they could
30, 36 games to get you a freaking 6 seed. For real. It don't take much.
you just got to make the play in. That's all.
You just gotta beat 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. Keep going even. That's it.
You get in the playing tournament, anything's possible. I don't think this hire though by the Nets. I don't think it's gonna be a. I don't think they're gonna regret firing Jacque Vaughn, man. I just think he got caught in the unfortunate circumstance that was the Nets at a time they were falling apart. A guy can only do so much keeping a team together when you're sitting there destroying it
Mhm.
by shipping all your players out and doing all this. Like you brought all these players in, and like I said, you got at least four decent players, and you give a couple more years around it. I think you should have gave them a little bit longer personally, but I don't think this is going to be that big of a loss for the Nets when it comes down to it. So it's definitely
They
not
should,
as it's definitely not as egregious as Adrian Griffin getting canned and the Bucks
right.
bringing in Doc Rivers.
What their
Crazy.
draft picks looking like? Their draft picks should be good right now.
Yeah, they're loaded up
Coming
because they had
in.
all them superstars, bro. Yeah, they got draft picks out the
Hmm.
ass.
Right.
They got draft picks out the ass, so
You get
they'll be
rid
all
of you
right.
get rid of you get rid of Ben Simmons, man. Shit, you're gonna have a lot of money on the books. Gotta get rid of him though, some kind of way. He gotta retire. You gotta make this man retire. Be like, hey, bro, this shit not working out, man. For real. You need to go back to Australia and play some volleyball or some shit, bro. For real. You was done data.
Shanghai. Go to
Yeah,
Shanghai. I heard Shanghai's nice this time of year.
there you go.